You want to build muscle, so you do what every normal person does. You eat more, train hard, step on the scale. And suddenly, you're not bulking, you're just becoming a before photo with better lighting. And that's where the internet makes everything worse. One side tells you to dirty bulk like it's 2008 Inhale cereal, pizza milk, peanut butter, and whatever else isn't nailed down because mass moves mass, bro. Great advice if your dream physique is refrigerator with veins. Then the other side tells you bulking is completely unnecessary. Just main gain forever. Stay the same weight, train perfectly, sleep like a monk, and somehow slowly build muscle while your body politely ignores basic energy math. Sounds beautiful. Also sounds like something a shredded guy says after already spending 8 years building his physique. The truth is annoying because it's not extreme enough to sell as a hot take. Bulking still works. In fact, if your goal is to build as much muscle as possible, a controlled bulk is probably still your best tool. Not a dirty bulk. Not I ate 6,000 calories because my favorite bodybuilder did it. A real bulk. A small calorie surplus, enough protein, hard training, decent recovery, and a scale that moves slowly enough that you don't wake up looking like you swallowed your gym bag. Here's the simple version. Your body does not care about your dream arms as much as you do. It cares about survival. Your brain organs, immune system, hormones, daily movement. All of that gets priority before your body decides. Sure, let's build some extra tissue on this guy's shoulders. So when you constantly hover around maintenance, yes, you can gain muscle, especially if you're newer, coming back after a break, or carrying more body fat. But if you're trying to maximize muscle growth, giving your body extra energy makes the job easier. That's what a bulk is supposed to be. Not eating like a raccoon in a gas station dumpster. A bulk simply means eating more calories than you burn on purpose, so your body has enough resources to recover and build new muscle. But the size of that surplus is where most people ruin it. Because muscle grows slowly. Your appetite can grow instantly. And this is where most people mess up. The biggest mistake people make during a bulk is assuming faster weight gain means faster muscle growth. It doesn't. Your body can only build muscle so quickly naturally. You can't force-feed your biceps into growing twice as fast just because you added an extra milkshake and 3 donuts for the gains. At some point, the extra calories stop helping muscle growth and start helping your future cut become emotionally devastating. That's why the ideal bulk is actually kind of boring. If you're newer to lifting, gaining around 1 to 2% of your body weight per month is usually solid. If you've already been training consistently for a couple years, you probably want closer to 0.5% to 1% per month. So, if you weigh around 170 pounds and you've been lifting seriously for a while, gaining maybe 1 or 2 pounds a month is completely fine. I know. That sounds painfully slow compared to the "I gained 25 pounds this winter" guys online. Look closely at those transformations, though. Half the time, the after photo just has better lighting and a larger hoodie. A good bulk usually comes from a pretty small calorie surplus. Around 5 to 10% above maintenance is enough for most people, not 50%. You are not preparing for hibernation. So let's say you maintain your weight around 2,800 calories. A smart bulk might only put you around 3,000. That's it. Then you monitor your body weight for a couple weeks and adjust. If you're gaining too fast, pull calories down slightly. If your weight isn't moving at all, bring them up a little. Simple. Not sexy, but effective. And protein still matters a lot here. Your body needs raw material to actually build muscle tissue. Around 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight is a solid target for most people. You don't need absurd numbers. If you weigh 180 pounds, eating around 170 grams per day is already plenty for most situations. Fat intake matters too, but this is another area where people either overcomplicate things or completely ignore reality. Going ultra-low fat because some influencer said carbs are anabolic is usually a terrible idea long-term. Hormones still matter. Testosterone still matters. Your brain still likes functioning properly. At the same time, fat calories add up ridiculously fast. Ever notice how peanut butter goes from healthy snack to why am I 900 calories deep in about 4 spoonfuls? Keeping fats around 20 to 30% of total calories is usually reasonable. Then the rest of your calories can come mostly from carbs, which help fuel training performance and recovery. And honestly, the meals themselves don't have to look like a fitness documentary. Most successful lean bulks are built on pretty normal foods, repeated consistently. Eggs, oats, rice, lean meat, yogurt, fruit, potatoes, wraps, maybe sushi or takeout here and there. You can even fit in some dessert if your calories allow it. That's another thing people miss. The best diet is usually the one you can repeat without mentally collapsing by Thursday. But none of this matters if your training sucks. And this is where people love blaming genetics instead of effort. A calorie surplus does not magically turn into muscle just because you own a shaker bottle. Training is the signal. Food is the material. If the signal is weak, sloppy, and random, the extra calories have no reason to become muscle. They'll become body fat instead, because your body is extremely efficient at storing energy and deeply unimpressed by your new bulk era. So if you're going to bulk train like you actually mean it, for beginners, 3 solid lifting days per week can work. 4 or 5 can be even better if you recover well. For intermediate lifters, most muscle groups usually need somewhere around 8 to 15 hard sets per week. Not junk sets. Not scrolling between curls for 8 minutes. Actual challenging work with progression over time. And yes, cardio still belongs in a bulk. The idea that cardio kills gains needs to be left in the same graveyard as gallon milk bulks and wearing jeans on leg day. Moderate cardio helps your heart, your work capacity, and even your lifting. If you can't survive a set of squats without seeing your ancestors, your conditioning might be the problem. 2 or 3 moderate cardio sessions per week is enough for most people, unless your job already keeps you moving all day. Supplements are simple too. Creatine 5 grams daily. Protein powder if you struggle to hit protein. Caffeine before training if it doesn't destroy your sleep. Everything else is optional, not magic. Fish oil, magnesium, vitamin D. A multivitamin useful in the right context. But no supplement will save a bad bulk. Especially not the one with flames on the label and a name like Nuclear Gorilla Rage. Here's the real consequence of ignoring all this. You don't just gain more fat. You make the next cut longer, harder, and more miserable. Then you spend months dieting off weight you never needed to gain in the first place. That is not building season. That is a very expensive detour. The goal is not to stay perfectly lean forever. The goal is to gain enough weight to support muscle growth without pretending body fat is a personality trait. So start simple. Find your maintenance. Add a small surplus. Hit your protein. Keep fats reasonable. Train hard. Do some cardio. Track your average body weight, not one random morning after sushi and soy sauce betrayed you. You don't need to dirty bulk to build muscle. But if you main gain forever, you may also leave a lot of progress on the table. The sweet spot is controlled, patient, slightly boring, lean bulking. And boring is fine because boring done for 6 months beats extreme done for 3 weeks every single time.